What we're going to try and do now is I'm going to talk you through my thinking on how to access my API. So there's my API there. I'm using the one that Seth and I sort of figured out, using my API key and my ID, and then I can actually do a query on any particular piece of food by changing green apple to orange and hitting send, and that should give me the information about an orange. Now what I've decided to do, and you are meant to be paying attention to this, what I've decided to do is make a simple calorie counter. Okay, so all I'm going to be interested in is this piece of information here about an orange. So you can see there's a whole lot of other stuff. You could do something else. You could do like, there's an image here for the ingredients. More for processed food, obviously, than something like an orange. But what I've started to do is I've created under Blair test. I've got to get the right one though. Public HTML, Blair test. I've started writing my little website here. If I go into my index.php, all I've got there at the moment is just a menu at the top, a title, a main body and a footer. I haven't even styled those yet. But already I'm starting to think, how am I going to access my API? I don't want to be jumping in all the time and accessing the API like multiple times per page load. So what I've done is I've actually extracted into a folder called API in here, a getcalories.php. So this is the file that's actually going to do all my API searches. So all I'm going to do is call this with a particular food. I'm already starting to think here I could actually send it in the address line, or I could send it from a form using post. So I'm going to collect both ways. If that works, great. If not, it'll try that. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to go straight back to my index with an error code of 1. You didn't send me a food item to go look up.
Wait, so what's a post for?
So I can actually send information to a page two ways, get and post.
Oh, so you can put stuff into the API.
Remember that the $get? No. This isn't the API I'm dealing with yet. This is my pages.
Okay.
When I send a form where the method equals get, then it puts food equals orange up in the address line.
Yeah.
When I send a form with method equals post, it hides that in the headers. Doesn't put it in the address line. Very handy for passwords, remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I don't get a food either way, then I'm sending it back with an error message of 1, you didn't send me a food item to go look at. Then all I've done here is, based on my tooling around over here, is I've made the URL with all of these as parameters here. So there's my endpoint, and then I've put in my app ID, ampersand app key, and just copied and paste those. Ampersand nutrition type equals logging, and ingredient equals food. I might even play around with this nutrition type equals logging, because rather than getting that as a response for one food item, there might be a way of just saying, I just want to know the calories. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, at this point in time, all I've done is I've put that in as a string. I haven't called the API, but we did that together the other day. We talked about opening a stream and reading from the API. Putting that into a thing, and instead of header, I'm going to echo back so I could actually use this asynchronously. And I showed you a little bit about that, but I think we need to properly go through asynchronous connections. All right. So that's where my current thinking is on how to handle the API. Take it right out of your main page, just worry about your main page looking right, getting it set up, and then call this when you need it using a JavaScript function. All right.